they got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Second game live, game day here on the grid. Hour number 3, Scott and Gabe. We got the football game, bunch of other stuff going around. So it's every once in a while we'll take a peek at some of the other things. Gabe, tipping off here in a couple of minutes. Lakers at Portland. That line's up to 10. Austin Reeves out. Luka out. Obviously LeBron out. DeAndre Ayton is in. But that line is going high, high, high. I'm telling you right now, don't yell and scream when the Lakers win this thing 125 to 115. And it makes no sense because that's the NBA. You know, Reeves has a groin injury. Yeah, okay. Luka's got a leg injury. Yeah, okay. You know, this is why it's tough betting the NBA. But as I always said, my conspiracy is the other teams allow these teams to win. This way you can't bitch and moan about how your team is resting all these players and yet they're winning the basketball game.
So you think Portland is going to let the Lakers win so they can rest players down the road?
Yes. So when Portland wants to rest their guy, it's a whole league-wide conspiracy. It's not just Lakers versus Portland. It's a whole league-wide
That's a bad conspiracy.
I think that the teams, if you go back,
I think that the teams hang around. I think the teams hang around. I do believe that the team that sees the other starting lineup gets overconfident. I think that's a bigger thing. That they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to roll this team, right? Like, and NBA players actually do know kind of like who they're playing. And, like, there's the famous, the video game with Karl Anthony Towns. I forget who the other NBA player was. They were playing video games online. Like, so other people, the public could see it. So they're talking to each other and they're playing games. It was Ben Simmons. And it was like 3 a.m. And Buddy says to him, he goes, man, don't you have a game today? And he goes, yeah, man. But he goes, yeah, we're playing the Cavaliers. It doesn't matter or whatever. Like, it was at the time, the team wasn't very good. So like he said, he goes, yeah, but, and the other guy goes, oh, yeah, no, I get it. He goes, yeah, they're pretty bad. And they started like ripping the team. It was one of the best, like, sort of inside baseball little. He's like, oh, no, I forget who it was. It wasn't the Cavs, but he goes, nah, man, it's against the Nets or something. The way he said it, he goes, no, it's against, like, he goes, don't worry about it. He's playing a game. Like, like he doesn't care. It's 3 a.m. He's like, don't worry about it. Like, so I think that'll catch up. But Portland are a good young team. They're not good that they're going to be, like, they're not going to have an impact good. But I told people, too, like, it's weird. They fight, Chauncey Billups got let go, Scott, the night before the regular season started. So They lose their coach. Tiago Splitter becomes the coach, but they're one of these teams that whatever, man. If you suck for enough years in a row, you're going to stockpile draft picks. And they've stockpiled draft picks, and Sharp is a good player. The kid from Toronto, he's a good player. So, like, Sharp is a pure little scorer kid. The Clinigan, the other kid, from UConn, he's good. They've got some young ballers on that team.
Yeah. Celtics, I think, just lost to the Utah Jazz. You got to be kidding me. This Celtics
big win for Danny Ainge.
Yeah. Danny Ainge going back to Boston too. A little, yeah. Nurkic should tip in. There's got, everyone has certain teams that no matter what.
Former Toronto Blue Jay, I might add.
Toronto Blue Jay? Who? Nurkic?
Yeah, Danny Ainge.
Oh, Danny Ainge. Okay, yes, Toronto. Yes, absolutely.
People don't think of Danny Ainge as like this. Like, people don't realize what what he did. Yeah, like to play basketball, to play baseball, Major League Baseball, very impressive. Like I say, he played for the Toronto Blue Jay.
Yeah. So Celtics are going to be my team, Gabe. No matter what I do, they're going to do the opposite. I bet on them against Philadelphia. They lose to the lousy 76ers. I lay off them. I bet against them against Cleveland. They win. I bet against them again. Who they played the next game? I forget who it was, but they won. All right, so now, okay, the Celtics are going to be halfway decent. Bet them tonight, laying the double digits. They lose outright. How do you lose at home to the Utah Jazz and the Philadelphia 76ers? You see all the lines in the NBA? This is why betting the NBA regular season is tough. You got to pick your spots. Little coach's challenge. Yeah, but they lost. Darn near every single line today was 10 points or more. I mean, we're 2 weeks into the regular season. They were all favored by 10 points plus. That's tough to bet.
The schedule is too condensed, and there's too many blowouts. Like I said, the quality of the NBA sucks. Let's call it out for what it is. Like I saw, there was the numbers came out, and 25 million people watched Game 7 on Fox of the World Series. And think about that. That's only with one American city, involved in it. Yeah. Right? Like, normally it'd be like, oh, there's a Canadian team, the ratings won't be as good because the Toronto's not part of the Nielsen ratings or the same ones, et cetera. So they got 25 million people. At NBA Game 7 got 15 million people. And think of the NBA Finals last year. One team blows the other team out. That's the NBA, Scott. It happens in a regular season and in the playoffs. It's the same thing. So, when a team in the playoffs is down by 18, they're like, all right, well, let's just quit and don't worry, we'll win when we go back home. And it's not like this dramatic anything. The games aren't dramatic. There's not a ton of, I'm not saying none of them are. But for the most part, the NBA is one team shows up, they roll the other team. As you stated, nobody plays half the time. You got to check the lineup all the time. They're hurting themselves, but the players make so much money, they just don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care about, the product. They don't care about the league. They don't care. They're making too much money. They're good. Their life is good. If you don't like it, don't go to the game. What do we care?
Yeah.
There's not there's not a league, Scott, that the players have more disdain for the fans than the NBA players do. They legit hate the fans. They, you know what I mean? Baseball, they're into it, and, they're a little right field and the crowd and they talk, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Hockey players are they appreciate the support and stuff. Basketball players just laugh, tough. Oh, you paid money to see me? That's too bad. I don't care. Right? They don't care. They don't care.
It's amazing. I mean, John Morant gets himself suspended. We're a week and a half into the season, and he gets himself suspended because of conduct detrimental to the team with a brand new head coach. This is a brand new head coach.
How many times has this guy been suspended now? And conduct detrimental, exactly. At what point? At what point you just sort of give up?
He's a wannabe gangster. He grew up in a suburban area, good parents, money. It wasn't like
I don't know. And it's weird. He gets rich,
kid,
and exactly now he wants to
pretend. Yeah. I mean,
you can't help him either.
You pay him $40 million a year.
You got to trade him. You were speaking of trading players. Yeah, it seems, and I don't know, we're early in the season for this crap, but it seems that are done for like it's they see that it's never going to change. They're going to have to move on.
Yeah. But there was a point there where they were pretty good. When they had Bain on the team, I know they had some mental.
It almost felt like Oklahoma City could have been, right? It was like, wow, you guys are like, they were tougher. They had that defense. They were tough. They played street ball. It's almost like it went to their head, like their style of basketball, right? And his father and the gun taunts. And it's like, dude, you're not a San Quentin pickup team, bro. You're not like and why do you want to be? Like, they want to be you. Right. Like, why? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's the thing. Like, what's wrong with you? There's people in prison cells right now, John, looking at you going, man, I wish I was John Morant and I had his life.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like, you want to be a gangster. So it's like, all right. It's sad to see, actually, because he's such a good player.
Yeah.
But
he
just doesn't get it.
Knicks beat the Wizards as they covered the big number, 119-102. Jazz beat the Celtics. Bucks win against Milwaukee, which is now Milwaukee beat the Pacers, who are now 1-6. Wow. And the Teacups beat the Nets, who are just atrocious, by 16. They covered the big number.
Well, here's one for you hardcores, too. The Denver Pioneers are playing against Seattle right now, a little college basketball. Another point spread that is too high. This one. Seattle are a defensive team. Like, they play into the 130s. Take the points with the Pioneers, 11.5 in game.
There you go.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Couple things, Scott and Gabe, hour number 3. So tomorrow we have a little bit more time, everything going on here, but I can explain a couple of my philosophies with college basketball. Gabe, you mentioned Seattle. Seattle's one of my teams that I bet under on all the time. They were 20-10 under last year. And what I like to do is, sometimes you have fluky years. I go back 2 years ago. And then I find teams that also had strong unders or 2 years of straight strong overs. And I circle them like the top 10, 15 teams. And I say, okay, I'm going to continue that trend. And Seattle was 22-14 under 2 years ago. So as long as there's not a coaching change, you got to make sure there's not a coaching change. But long story short, I like your Seattle play. And that's one of the things I like to do as far as, pick the 5, 10, 15 top over teams, top 5, 10, 15 under teams, go back 2 years ago and make sure it's not just a 1-year thing. And I continue to bet those teams. So, like I said, Seattle's one of those clubs. So I like that. Just underweight 10-10 early on.
Yeah, I figured it's a lower scoring game. So getting 12.5 with the Denver. Listen, Denver aren't terrible, but Denver, like a lot of Denver teams, they're good at home because the altitude, right? It throws people off and whatever. So they're not a bad home team. But Denver are better at they win a national championship every couple of years on the ice. So they're a very good hockey program. But yeah, just getting 12.5 in the first game of the year just felt a little bit high. I'm on San Jose State plus 12.5 as well, was the same number, ironically enough. Yeah, I'd like it to be closer, but they're down by 7 right now. What I'm curious, our boy Pat Foster is all over. Like, listen, there's a lot of hype on the kid at BYU, right? College basketball is different than pro basketball. So I was curious about his prop. And so I guess it was 18.5 points tonight. And, man, we're off and running here. It was 6-0, and it was just a little explosion of points. We're already at 20 points in this game right now. 12-8 right now for BYU at the first TV timeout, 4 minutes, man. Excuse me. We played 6 minutes now, so it's the second TV timeout. But I'm curious to see his prop market. I always like to see star players and where it starts at. And this is starting pretty high, right? Like, I remember, like, Zion in the NBA, like, before, he turned into not the bus, but, it started like 14.5. Like, Cooper Flagg, his first game was 15.5. And, you sort of want to see, okay, where does it start and how high does it actually get? I remember Wembanyama, I was betting when Wembanyama was in the French league. Even in the French league, like, he wasn't going over his numbers because the sports books aren't dumb. So, like, his prop was like 24.5 points in the French league. And you figure, Wembanyama is for sure going to score 40. You know what I mean? He must have scored a lot in the French league. He didn't. Like, he scored 21, 22, and 13 rebounds, whatever. A lot of the star players get overpriced, right? So that's why I'm curious to see I think college basketball is really only for hardcores right now, so I don't think it's a mainstream bet or anything like that. Like, you kind of have to be hardcore to know the kid, but I'm surprised it was 18.5 and it was that high, man. Like, that's a high expectation for a kid in his first ever college basketball game, Scott. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. One thing, though, I will say, though, is BYU. And they're more than capable of playing games in the 80s, which...
Well, they play run and gun, right? So he's going to get shots.
Yeah. So they want to win games 85-80, not even 75-70 or 65-60, for goodness sake. So I think that maybe plays a little bit. You're going to get a couple of extra points knowing, okay, this team wants to put 90 points on the board. So... we'll see. I'm curious to see him play, get some highlights of him. I don't know if we'll be able to watch him. The game might be over by the time our football game is over, but I am curious to see what all the hype, he's this year. Basically, to put it into perspective, I guess he's this year's Cooper Flagg. Is that fair to say? Is he that much supposedly better than everybody else? Because all these previews I read about these teams, they all got these 5-star high school All-American.
Well, that's the thing that...
So who knows who's really good, who's just being overhyped.
And also the thing is too, you could be heavily hyped as the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, and you might be better in the NBA than you were in college.
Like the kids from Harper.
Like a lot of people don't understand that. Like, I use Wiggins as an example. I was talking to an NBA coach once about Wiggins off the air, and it was at Kansas. And he told me, he goes, Wiggins will be much better in the NBA. And I said, really? I said, why? He goes, because Bill Self's system. He goes, Bill Self doesn't care about Wiggins looking good. He goes, Bill Self cares about Bill Self and winning games. Right? So he basically said, he goes, Wiggins in the NBA will be able to be a free-flowing dude and do what he wants, and he'll be better. Right? Like, college systems can hinder players. That's, I'm not criticizing the player when I say, the number's too high or something, but you're on a college team. It's not about you. You're one guy. You're not, it's not the NBA where, we better feed. They already fed him. We gave you $5 million. Now you're going to do what we tell you to do. Right? Now you're going to run the offense that we tell you to run. Like, we don't have to feed you the ball 50 times. Right? And we have players that are here already before you, and it's your first game. So that's just my point with that, with the 18.5.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe that guy.
And as I say that, he's up to 6 already. So he just scored 2 baskets.
That's what I mean about BYU, score. They're not – I don't think you have to worry about them walking the ball up the court. So if that's the case, and if you're paying a guy $5 million, you got to believe that guy is going to the head coach saying, listen, I'm not paying this guy $5 million for you to run,
They're giving him the touches.
Million. I gave you the kid. So play the freaking kid and play him for 35 minutes or 30 minutes anyway, 32, 33 minutes, and make sure he's got the touches. Will you please?
He's taken 4 shots already. So the looks have been there for him. He's taken 4 shots and he's 3 for 4.
All right.
0 for 2 from the free throw line. All right, here's a play for CeeDee Lamb. 27-10. It's getting to be now or never for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't. The problem is they don't stop Arizona after, though. Like, so even if they score here, it's like, all right, you're down 27-17, and you haven't shown an ability to stop Arizona. This is a bad bet. I should have been on Arizona in this game. I just didn't have a lot of faith in them, to be honest. But
I think Arizona's that one punt that was blocked is the only time Arizona's punted the ball. They've either scored a touchdown or a field goal on all the other drives.
And Dallas still haven't scored a touchdown in the game.
No.
An offensive touchdown.
Nope. Yeah. Dak's up to 171 yards, though.
They kicked the field goal last time.
36. Yeah.
It's like when you just should have went for it. It's like, at this time, guys, what's the point?
Yeah,
freaking
we're
go for it all
thinking
the time.
that in first quarter.
We're down by 20 points. Like.
All right, more coming up.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What bet you should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid, Scott and Gabe. So, fourth quarter we go, and Dallas, is moving the ball. So I keep on going back to the same bet, but it still remains a good bet. Dallas has got the ball at the Arizona, the 21-yard line. So chances are pretty good they're going to score here. They'll cut it to a 2-point game, or a 2-score game, even if they got to kick a field goal. And that's going to keep Arizona on the impetus of having to move the ball and score and not go conservative. So Jacoby Brissett's at 236, Gabe. They're giving us 271.5. I still want to
Long
cash
haul
that
to get
first
there, huh?
original ticket.
The
Well,
final's
I mean,
like a marathon. The final steps are taking us a while. We were at 2:20 a while ago.
Yeah. Well, Dallas got the ball, and then they had the one long run there. But I mean, if Dallas scores here and makes it a 10-point game, or even a 2-score game with a field goal, I think Jacoby Brissett's just going to continue to do what they're doing. Like we keep on saying, that's throw the ball. So if he's going to get 30 more, what was he, 35, 36 more yards passing in the fourth quarter?
I don't think they're going to stop.
So. Right? I mean,
it's the one thing. I've been on, listen, on the wrong side with the Cowboys. I kind of just sort of rode it. I figured Arizona would lose another close game, 34-24,
right.
27-24, something like that. Very surprised about Dallas's lack of look. I'm not surprised that Arizona scored. Right, we talked about it coming into the game. Arizona have scored 23-27 with Brissett. With Kyler, they were scoring 21, 23, whatnot. Like they averaged 22 points a game, so they're a little bit above their average. Dallas's defense is bad. What surprises me, guys, is just that Dallas offensively has been unable to move the ball. When they haven't had the ball that much. When they do, they don't have it long. You know what I mean? They mismanaged drives. They settled. They should have just taken a damn 3 earlier. Once again, wouldn't that 3 right now be better, guys? If you had the 3 right now and it was 27-13, right? Like, so they've just sort of shot themselves in the foot a lot. The problem is, all right, so their offense just got urgent, moved the ball down the field pretty quickly here at the end of the third quarter. They're going for it right now instead of kicking the field goal here.
Field goal.
Which I don't have a problem with, Scott. They need a touchdown here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a problem with this.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, you kick a field goal, you're still down 2 touchdowns. You're still down 2 touchdowns. Like,
you're making it a 2-score game, but when your
I don't like
offense
the play
hasn't scored,
call. Dear
oh, they didn't make
it.
They didn't get it.
What a terrible play call. Like, just not so much the play call, just the unurgency of it. You go deep. Like, what the, like,
why?
Look at this. Dak just lobbed it up here, like casually. Like, all right, I'm just going to lob it up, and he's in coverage. I talked about it earlier, guys. I said Will Johnson's their best player that they have on Arizona. He's a cornerback out of Michigan. Well, you just mess with their best player. Good idea. And he just knocked the ball down.
And look at all the Arizona defensive backs game. They're all
it's
up at the
4th
line
and
of
3,
scrimmage.
Scott.
Yeah.
It's 4th and 3. Like, you don't have a better play than trying to throw a 17-yard pass down the field or whatever it was to CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, 17-yard out pass, no less.
Oh,
right?
they throw it way up there. Like, it's 4th and 3, guys. Like,
took it out.
Little pitch, urgent, hit, quick, boom, boom, let's go. Like, hell, why don't you copy when Arizona plays? They've been running on your ass all night. Like, it's not rocket science. When I saw him drop back and just casually lob it up, then you saw the pass. He just lobbed it up there. It's like, oh, God. Really?
Took too long. Took too long
That's
to
your
complete.
game on the line.
Yeah, that's the game on the line. Best play in the book, right? Because that's what you got to be saying. And don't forget, excuse me, this was in between the third quarter ending and the fourth quarter.
Yeah, a lot of time to discuss it.
2 minutes,
so that's the best thing they came up with. So if he's covered, we're screwed. They had no option on that.
Yeah, no option.
Like, there's no, like, well, we'll do this, and you cross, and, okay, Dak, you can go here, or you can run it, or you can do this. Yeah. No, let's just drop back in the shotgun and throw it like 20 yards in the air when we only need 3.
That's where, and I'm a Schottenheimer guy, and like I liked him as far as him getting the opportunity. But we pointed out a couple of things now.
I don't understand
whether it's the defensive backs playing way back or plays like that. That's why I don't understand teams not having that much success with 2-point conversions. You got to be able to have somewhere in your playbook. All right, guys, 4th and 3, life on the line. This is going to be successful.
Give credit.
We're going to run one of those screen passes or something.
Nick Sirianni's good at it. Like when you watch the Eagles, they have more than just the push and stuff. Like, remember once we were live and I'm like, oh, they gave it to Dallas Goedert, like in a fullback situation. Right. I saw the other day once they just had Jalen Hurts. They bunched everyone up and Hurts just walked it in, sort of rolled out and walked it in. Like, I don't know. I saw Josh Allen yesterday in the Bills. Same thing. It was 4th and 2 and they threw the ball over the middle of the field in a double coverage. It's like, really? Josh Allen, that's the best play you have on 4th and 2.
Amazing.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 3. Just a little quick update. Toronto rallied from 3-0 down in the third period and beat Pittsburgh 4-3. Wow, that's a tough one. So Seattle and Chicago just underway, no score in the first.
Good for Leaf fans.
Yeah,
they had a rough
weekend.
weekend.
About yeah, exactly right. Now they know how it feels to be, trailing and then end up winning versus, leading and end up losing. That's for sure. So, Brady Cannon joins us now, SportsGrid host. You see it here all the time here on the grid. What's going on, Brady? How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm trying to root in and over like everybody else in the country, I imagine, in this football game. I still think we get there, guys. And you've talked about it. Dallas has really just been finding ways to fail to execute. I mean, how many times has it been in the red zone now? They only have the 1 touchdown, and it came on special teams. You can't shame Audrey for missing a 68-yarder, but I mean, it's been one opportunity after another. And I agree with you guys. Why are you throwing it 17 yards down the field on a fade pass? I mean, is that high percentage when you only need 3 yards to get to move the sticks? And that's really kind of the first play that I really haven't liked throughout the night. Arizona, I'll give most of the credit to them. Their defense has been pretty darn good. And I've always said that, guys. I like playing on a team that really struggles going into their bye week. And Arizona's exactly that. They had lost 5 in a row. They go into the bye week. Okay, let's get things right. It looks like the defensive coordinator really figured out a great game plan. Jonathan Gannon, is a defensive-oriented head coach. And that's really what has won the game for him tonight. We knew people were going to be able to score on the Dallas defense. What we didn't know, I didn't necessarily think would happen, is that Arizona would be holding Dallas to 10 points in the fourth quarter.
The lack of urgency from the Cowboys, it just, like even the sort of fake anger on the sidelines, Dak sort of the shrug of the shoulders and walking back to the sidelines. At least pretend, throw your helmet. Like, at least fake it. Right? You know what I mean? Like, you see, like, it's unbelievable. This is what the Cowboys, I warned people before the game, Brady, and I said, this is exactly the type of game that the Cowboys let everybody down. Seems like a layup for them, right? And it's almost like the odds makers knew something and only having the Cowboys as 3-point favorites in this game.
I made Arizona a 1-point favorite. When I crunched all my stats, I came out with Arizona as a 1-point favorite. Now,
Really?
I didn't have the guts to play them plus the 2.5 or 3, but I had them in a teaser with your Buffalo Bills. And right now, I don't think Dallas is going to win this game by 9 points. So I feel pretty good about, it's always that 2.5, taking it to 8.5. I love that teaser.
Yeah.
I did that with both the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals, looking good right now. But I said it to Scott when we were off air, I also think this is the end of Dallas's postseason hopes, season win total. I mean, this could be it right here. You're not supposed to lose this one to the Arizona Cardinals at home, where you've been scoring 40 points per game.
What a difference, though, huh? Between 3-5-1 and 4-4-1.
Yeah, 4-4.
It's just huge difference.
Yeah, no, I mean, not that they were going to win the division, but they could have maybe gotten to 9 or 10 wins. I don't think they are now.
Put it this way: now they're going to be toast by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
For their little annual Thanksgiving Day game.
And they'll win that one when it doesn't matter, and we did it.
Think about
I think it's
schedule,
against Washington,
right?
off the top of my head. I'm not sure, but I think is it Washington this year?
It's worse than that. Worse than that game. Kansas
Chicago.
City.
Right.
Oh, Kansas City at Dallas?
Yeah, the Chiefs are at the Cowboys, and then on Christmas they play at the Commanders. That's what you're thinking of.
Okay.
But think about this, though. Like, if they were to win tonight, right, you go to 4-4, you got a bye week, so you go into your bye all, happy, and then you come out of it with a great road game at Las Vegas, which is certainly winnable. Now you think, okay, you're 5-4. Right, but instead you lose. Now you're 3-5, and who knows what's going to happen? Trade deadline being tomorrow and everything else. Maybe you lose to Las Vegas, maybe you win, but then you got Philadelphia, Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, and the Chargers, and then who knows what kind of Washington team you're going to have. They're done. They needed to win tonight. You're right.
They have some sort of miracle comeback win right now.
Yeah.
And Arizona blown 5 leads at the half this year, but they got a 17-point lead with 12:35 left.
Yeah. We need a quick Dallas score for our over, guys. That's what we need here.
Yeah, exactly. Couple more touchdowns, and I think we get home. Basically you need 17 points right now, but there is a lot of time left. And I thought we were really looking good with Arizona scoring so quickly in the third quarter. But Dallas, and I wasn't too worried about Dallas scoring, but now I am. It's just time after time. I would probably still play this over, though. The end game now is 47.5. I just don't think we're done. And one of the reasons I don't think we're done is because even if Arizona tries to take their foot off the gas, Dallas cannot stop anything at any time.
No.
They've been running right through them like Swiss cheese.
Like, even if they score, it doesn't matter. That's the thing with the Cowboys. You can't have any hope the Cowboys are coming back. So, all right, you score, and you're not going to get the ball. Like, you're not stopping them.
No, they can't get a stop. And good for Marvin Harrison Jr. Hopefully people bet him on his props tonight and everything. Nice to see him have a really positive outing here. We've been kind of waiting for this, for him to show up. And who better to, come out against than the Dallas defense? That'll make anybody look pretty good.
Speaking of the Raiders, God, they're on Thursday Night Football. Where did the hits just keep coming for us, huh? Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Broncos 9-point favorites.
The Raiders have owned the Broncos, but are they going to own them again? I don't know if I want to lay 9, but that's in Denver, right?
This will be a big survivor pick for some people that are still alive in survivors.
Yeah. The Packers took a lot of people out this week. You had almost 300 entries in Circa Survivor go down, in the neighborhood of 280. You might have had a couple people on the Cowboys or something like that, but they are now under 2,000 entries. I want to say it's about a little under 1,800 entries left in Circa Survivor, only 9 weeks through the season. So we're halfway through. And you're talking a pool that started with 18,700 is now less than 1,800. Wow. Yeah.
Might be settled by Thanksgiving or Black Friday type deal.
We keep saying that every year, but it hasn't happened yet. But, I think Circa Grandissimo could be settled by Thanksgiving because that's the $100,000 entry fee. There's only 11 entries left in that contest. Took a couple people out in that one with the Packers this week.
The two big favorites, the Bills.
Entry fee?
Wow. $100,000 entry fee.
How many people were in there?
69.
How many people were in there?
69. So 6.9 million on the line. And I know there's a lot of groups that went in, like, 10 guys for 10 grand, something like that. And you're only allowed a maximum of 2 entries. But there's only 11 people left. And you think about it, guys, if you can, get some guys together and put together $100,000, you probably have a better chance to win that one.
Yes, better chance than that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't make this up.
What?
They recovered it. So Dallas are moving the ball. CeeDee Lamb caught the ball and fumbled the ball. No, it wasn't CeeDee Lamb. I take it back. It was someone else. So I don't want to blame CeeDee Lamb for it. Who was that? Anyways, Javonte Williams, I could tell. It was Pickens, my bad. So, Pickens caught it, fumbled it, but Javonte Williams slid on the turf and recovered the fumble miraculously. Like, nothing is easy for this team right now.
Well, I tell you, they need a score. They're not totally out of this yet. If they can
they're picking up chunks here, Brady. They just picked up 2 big plays. They're on the 20-yard line already.
They've picked up a few chunk plays.
They got to stop. Yeah, they couldn't. Dude, they just moved the ball. They should have kicked the field goal to start the game. But you're right. They just moved the ball in their last drive and got nothing out of it, right? They should have. It should be 27-17 right now.
Turnovers, self-inflicted wounds is really what's done it to them. They've been moving it between the 20s, but no results.
At least they are like going faster pace here. They realize that it's down.
Hey guys, it's time to wake up.
Yeah, right. All right,
Dak is up to 218.
Get some prop plays from him.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back in game live. Game day here on the grid, right on cue. Wallen break a touchdown. It's a beautiful thing. So Dallas scores to make it now Arizona 27-17. They kicked the extra point with almost 11 minutes left. I was saying before the break, guys, about how Dallas, I'll give them credit. We've been ripping them all night, but they were speeding up the offense. Huddle real quickly right to the line of scrimmage. Seen 1,000 times teams down, 3 scores, all of a sudden would be going into the huddle because, there's 12 minutes left. Like, no. So 7.5 now, Arizona, the number, and it's 54.5 on FanDuel anyway, plus 114. So it's basically the same number over underwise, but Arizona's up to down to minus 7.5. So kickoff for Arizona. Good news for our over prop bets. With the Jacoby Brissett, because you got to figure they're going to throw the ball at least a little bit. Only needs a couple of yards depending on the number. We were playing that, Brady. Is over 238 to 248. He's got like 242, 243 right now. But you play any props tonight? And would you recommend anything right now, knowing we got a touchdown on the board with 10 minutes left?
I did not play any props. The only thing I had going in this game was that teaser on Arizona I mentioned. And then I also, on one of my football contest teams, we had Dallas laying 2.5. Nice number. And who knows, maybe we'll still get that home. We had a good week in the contest, knock on wood. And the Dallas Cowboys actually laying 2.5 was the most popular play in the Circa Sports Million and the Westgate Super Contest. So, if it loses, that's not exactly a bad thing because a lot of people will lose on that. You know what I mean? And we had a good record. Our record is better than the top 5 consensus plays, win or lose this game. So we're going to make up ground on the majority. And if Dallas loses, it might even be better for us in a sense when you're talking about contests. But, to get back to the prop question here, you love this Dallas touchdown because you alluded to it, Scott. This puts pressure on Arizona. They are not going to quit now and just take the air out of the ball. They're going to try and keep moving this. This game's actually close now with all this time. Like you said, almost 11 minutes left, a 10-point game. So they can't just try and, kill the clock here and run this thing out. They've got to score. They at least probably have to get another touchdown. And that's great for prop players, over players, you name it. I think we got more points coming because of what Dallas just did quickly.
Dallas haven't gotten stops. So it's almost as if, though, okay, you see this sometimes with teams where they're not getting stops. Can you create a turnover? Right? You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're not stopping them. Let's punch the ball loose. Like, you're not tackling them. You know what I mean? Create a turnover somehow, guys, as opposed to like the old sort of classic 3 and out. But we'll see if Dallas's defense can make a play. If they can get the ball back to Dallas's offense in the next couple of minutes here, we got ourselves a game, right? But this is the key drive of the football game. It's on the line right now. Can Arizona sustain their offense, get first downs, or can Dallas get the football back?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if Dallas does make a stop here, I don't think that hinders over players or prop players or anything.
They get a big sack. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, they struggled all day, but can they get a big play type thing? All right, you sort of, there's the start. But I maintain it, guys. You look back, all right, they went for it on the first drive of the game, which I never understand. Just take the damn 3. They also missed a 68-yarder. And I'm not blaming Aubrey for missing a 68-yarder, but, those points would really make a difference right now, right? Even that extra 3 right now. Like, you know what I mean, Scott? Remember, they left 3 on the board in the first drive of the game. Now you're down by 10.
You figured you'd have one of those 2 situations. I thought Aubrey was going to hit it. I mean, do you ever see the guy miss?
For him is manageable.
Yeah, right.
Sounds like, all right, yeah.
But, it's more the play call on. It's more the play call on that drive. You had only 48 seconds, but that's time to get a couple of plays in. We were talking about that. They only get 3 plays in 48 seconds. In the NFL, that's not good.
No.
So,
and there's a big chunk play to McBride too, so they pick up a first down. So the Cowboys waste the sack.
Yeah, and that kind of hurts. You don't need Arizona to bleed this drive out. You need things to happen quickly here for over players, or again players that are looking to go over on some prop bets. But they're almost out to midfield now.
Man, you got to stop. A nice stack too. They lost like 7-8 yards or whatever. Like
it was second and 20.
Yards, like,
it was second and 20, second and 19, and you can't force a punt in that situation. That's pretty bad.
He drops back and casually throws it over in the middle to McBride for 20 yards. Like, like really?
Wow. That's good for me in that Brissett is now at 262. So no matter what number you got to start the game, he went over that. And we were talking, we would go as high as 300. And he might get that on this drive. And McBride is now at 55 yards. So I think his was like 61, 5 for 61, something like that. Or he's 5 for 55 now, but I think he was like 60. So we probably need one more reception out of him. But that's a brutal first down. That just is. So.
And then they get the sack again now.
20 of 29, 2 touchdowns, and he's probably going to get 300 yards passing. That's outstanding. I mean, this guy might. Is Kyler Murray on the trade block? Is he going to get moved before tomorrow afternoon?
Not before tomorrow, but I think in the off season.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's hard to fit that salary cap in mid-season.
Right. Right.
But. Yeah. That would be funny if the Dolphins and Arizona, I wouldn't want either one, to tell you the truth, but 2 bad quarterbacks making about the same amount of money. You take your problem, I'll take, you take my problem, you take yours. Who knows, right? So,
guys, what do you think of the Las Vegas Raiders? They obviously have a major overhaul and rebuild that needs to happen.
I already brought it up that I said Kyler Murray to the Raiders earlier.
How about trade Max Crosby? You could get a boatload for that guy. He is so good. I mean,
does he want to get traded?
I don't know if he does or not, but
he's got the Raider tattoo and he's all diehard Raiders all the time.
He's always said no. But
I understand that. He's a loyal guy. He's a great guy. He's great for the community. But boy, you could get a big haul for him, and that's kind of what they need.
Jacoby Myers too.
Yeah,
we were talking about Jacoby Myers helping teams.
Right.
Yeah. He's done nothing this year. He's on my fantasy team. Boy,
49ers could use a pass rusher. A lot of people could use Max Crosby.
Eagles making some trades. Would they call him up? Howie
Roseman
is tomorrow.
He's not immune to anything.
Yeah. Don't put it past him. That's for sure. Great job, Brady. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe, thanks again, Brady Cannon, for joining us. So 7 minutes left. It took them about a half hour to figure out that the play clock stopped, even though it was a completed pass. So bottom line is they did actually do it correctly. I was kind of worried, Gabe, that they would start the play clock but then not reset, or they would start the game clock but not reset the play clock, which only had 12 seconds left, but they ended up doing it the right way. So bottom line is Dallas gets the ball. Yeah. They might have gotten screwed out of like 25 seconds, but they did. They did it the right way. So, bottom line is Dallas has got the ball down 10.
Right, we got a game.
37-yard line. Yeah, we got a game. Yeah.
Remember, too, I played a teaser as well. Right, so I've got Dallas at +4, teased to the over. I'd prefer if Dallas is able to come back and win somehow, but if we lost 27-24, it actually hit the teaser to the over, and we've got +4 with the Cowboys. Field goal doesn't do us any good. They're going to have to pull this off again on this drive. And right now as well, if you jumped in on the Dak Prescott passing yard props as well, this is the opportunity for him to put some numbers up here, as Dak is currently up to 222 right now. So he's still at 222. I got in at over 249.5 right before the half. So this is a big drive here.
I mean, listen, I don't want to whack you here, but with 7 minutes left, although, listen, you know what, if they go 3 and out, maybe they don't get the ball back, but I would think they would, because otherwise Arizona would really. So you're looking halfway decent. Jacoby Brissett's up to 261. He actually
it was short of an interception, injury. Yeah, he should throw for about 30 yards. I'm expecting it on the – what's this penalty on here? Is it on the Cowboys? Now's not the time. Like, what –
Yeah. You don't want –
I think it's picking some sort of illegal motion, or what was it? No. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh, great time. Great time, Pickens.
Oh, what did he handed the ball to the defensive back. He didn't do anything crazy, Gabe.
What did he do? Was that all he did?
He point after the reception first down, he pointed the ball to the defensive back. That's not a personal foul. He's saying first down. You see these wide receivers do it all the time.
They overreact with this now, huh? They overreact, bro.
First down counts, though, so it should be still a first down.
Yeah, but they still lose the 15 yards.
They'll lose the 15 yards, though.
And it was first and 10, but they go back to the spot.
Yeah.
Dak just picked up the yardage on a scramble, so he just scrambled and pretty much got the yards back. It's more about the time now. You don't want to be screwing around with the clock too much here, and you don't want to give him 15 yards, but I'm with you. They overreact. That's reputation, I guess. Yeah. They've been overreacting with this stupid stuff all year, to be honest with you.
Well, remember they said before the season began that that was going to be a point of emphasis this year. But, in that situation, you get, if the defensive back
it's a game of emotion too, Scott. Like, let's have some fun with this too. It's ridiculous. Like it's the no fun league.
Yeah. So, all right. It used to be, I remember, I don't know when they changed it, but I remember, Gabe, it used to be if you got a penalty like that, it was 1st and 25.
Yeah.
He said,
now they go to the spot. Yeah, now they're like from the spot of the foul. Yeah, where it counts first down, exactly.
Yeah, so you're still 1st and 10, but you're going to lose 15 yards. Another flag.
So this time it's on. Yeah, it's on Arizona, though, and they're declining it. Dallas are moving the ball. They just picked up a nice little chunk here. So this will be getting realer right now. You know what I mean? There's under 6 minutes. And they're going to still need to get another stop, guys. They do have all their timeouts. So if you're Dallas, very critical that you don't use timeouts here. Like, don't find yourself we got to waste a timeout. Like, you need your timeouts for defense on the other side.
Yeah. The question I'll ask that everyone's asking right now is, where was this Dallas team in the first half, right?
No urgency before.
For that matter. Yeah, you said it many times. There was like no sense of urgency.
No.
I've always wondered why coaches, don't go into a 2-minute drill midway through the game. Who cares how much time is left? We need something to change things up. Pretend it's a 2-minute drill and just throw.
How you flat at home on Monday Night Football, like when you said, yeah, you know what, your season, you're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, but you're in the mix. You win this game. There's a lot to still play for, right? You're battling. You're 3-4-1. You could be a 500 team and say, all right, we're at the halfway point. We went through a lot with Parsons and everything, and our injuries and our schedule. We got the Raiders coming up. Let's go. And instead, they're flat. It sounded like Arizona just came to play tonight more than they did.
Amazing.
It's their personality. It's not new. I mean, it's the Cowboys' personality.
Been this way for years.
Yeah.
Right?
Lack of killer instinct.
Same old quarterback, though. You wonder where, where's the issue lie, right? Maybe. All right, we'll see if Dallas can score a touchdown. We need a touchdown for game's prop, not a field goal. We're coming up.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. So we didn't get a touchdown or a field goal while we were away, but we did get a turnover. Dallas fumbles the ball after a completion.
It's one thing after another with this team. Like, if it's not one thing, it's another thing, right? And now they just gave up a gash run. Big play, Cardinals. Wow. That's the game. That's the game. You could almost argue, all right, listen, you get the ball back one more time, get it back again, score quickly, but they've shot themselves in the foot too many times. Opening drive, march down the field, get nothing. Go for it, get nothing. For the late third quarter, that bad play on 4th and 3 was out early in the 4th, whatever. Yeah. Get nothing. They threw an interception, I think, too, in the red zone. Like, it's just been constant with this team. One thing after another.
I'll tell you,
and they fumbled pretty good with Scott, too. They fumbled a couple of times and recovered their own fumbles, so it's caught up to them finally, all the drop balls, too. Just sloppiness.
Yeah. They have the most penalties in the NFL heading into this week. I didn't notice that many today, but I mean, there's just the double-check penalties. Yeah, not too many. It was 6, Arizona's got 2. So
every time they're getting back in the game.
Yep. I'll tell you, I'm pretty good with rules, Gabe, right? So here's what happened on that play. They didn't review it, but the wide receiver was near the sidelines. He was being tackled. 2 guys. One guy rips the ball out of him. The guy who recovered the ball went out of bounds, and he seemingly was the first one to touch the ball that recovered the ball. That was in the feet of another Arizona player, but I don't think it hit that Arizona's player's feet. So point is, I don't think you can go out of bounds and be the first one. It's kind of like a wide receiver. You can't go out of bounds and catch a pass. I'm pretty sure, not positive though, that it's the same rule. Once you go out of bounds, you can't be the first one to touch the ball. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I'm seeing it now, though.
That should have been Arizona ball.
The guy that ended up with the ball never got out of bounds. So
no,
it was
I
Baker who sort.
Nah,
he was there, but he didn't. And I'm not even sure he went out of bounds, to be honest, his toe. But yeah, there was somebody else that actually ended up with the football on the Cardinals. So who wasn't out of bounds. But I got in on Dak Prescott at over 249.5. He's actually at 250. You can't make that up right now. So
wow.
I guess that's better than being at 249.5.
Yes, it is.
They should get the ball back, though, right? Who knows what'll happen? They might throw an interception on his first play, but there's 4 minutes left.
That loses 3 yards. You'll just have
Arizona. Yeah, exactly. You never know, too, when a team is like, when they know they're not going to win the game and they don't care on the last drive. I've seen weird things happen like that. They just got a big stop here. But you look at the Cowboy players on the sidelines, and they're acting like the game is over. Like every offensive player, look at them all. They're just sitting there with their head down. That's what I'm talking about. Like their body language sucks. They're not an intense enough team to be a football team. Like the Cowboys should be a basketball team. Like they're not intense, these guys. Like there's no intensity. Where's the leadership? Like you said, you're only down by 10. There's 4 minutes left. Make a stop and make a play. Exactly. Stop crying on the sideline all the time.
I mean, we saw the dopey Cincinnati Bengals.
They're moping.
Right? Bengals.
Yeah, they scored 14 points in 2 minutes or whatever.
2 minutes. It's not impossible. You get the ball, you score. Even if they kick a field goal here, you're still down only 2 scores. You do an onside kick with how much time left? I mean, it's not impossible. Not likely, but it's not impossible to the point where you kind of give up and stuff.
It's been a problem. It's almost like the stadium itself. Like they're a business. They're not really a football team, and the team is just part of the business. And it's more about the stadium experience and look how big our screen is. And I kind of think that it trickles down, Scott, to the players in a sense that they know deep down inside Jerry Jones doesn't really care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cowboy fans tell you that, Gabe.
Yeah, like if you're playing for if you're playing for an owner and you're like, man, the guy's a jerk. And like, he really gets mad when we lose. And like, he's serious. And like, hey, there'll be no Christmas party type thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like if the players know that like, the owner gets mad and watches and he's serious about this, as opposed to whatever, man, Jerry only cares about his money. We all know he only cares about the money in the business. We all know it. Otherwise he wouldn't trade Micah Parsons before, right? Like, so it's, if you know that the owner doesn't care deep down inside about winning, then you're not going to care. Like, you're not going to have the same urgency. Like, is CeeDee Lamb scared of Jerry Jones or Schottenheimer? No. You know what I mean? Like, it's just status quo. Whatever. You might get ripped by Jerry on his radio show or something, but like, there's no real ramifications to losing on this team, Scott. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you lose on some cities, like, you're like, people get mad. Like, you're a loser, right? Like, the fans are mad. Like, in Dallas, they still love him anyways. So it's like, you guys suck, but we still love you. And we fill the stadium up, and Jerry's making billions of dollars, and everyone's happy, but except you never win.
Yeah. Yeah, I never thought you'd get that out of Jerry Jones. I mean, how much money do you need? I mean, you have unlimited money. You could go to any bank or whatever and say, I own the Dallas Cowboys.
As opposed to the money, you're right. Then I want to win. Yeah. I'm getting old. I want to win again. So, like, pay these guys whatever it takes. Exactly. Like, I don't care. I'm dying. It's like
crazy. Yeah. I don't get it.
It's
really
ego,
don't.
Bro. It's ego. He thinks I'm not going to get bossed around by Micah Parsons. I'm Jerry Jones. He's some kid. Yeah. He's lucky. I made him. All these people are lucky to play for me, and they're lucky they're in the NFL. That's the way he looks at it. He doesn't look at it like, oh, he thinks it's an honor for you to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's been a long time, Jerry, since you've been holding up that Super Bowl trophy. A long, long time. So, crazy. All right. What are we down to?
A lot of players in the league weren't even alive the last time they won.
Yeah. Yeah, that really puts it into perspective, right? I mean, think about that.
They don't know. Like, they don't. And we all know, too, the modern athlete cares nothing about sports history. So they don't know. Like, if you ask a modern player, they'll just tell you the Chiefs and Eagles are good. That's it. Like, that's all. They'll be like, you know what I mean? Like,
what
who
about
won
10
the Super
years
Bowl?
ago?
They'll be like the Chiefs. They'll be like, I don't know,
yeah.
10 years ago I was a kid and I didn't watch the NFL. It's another thing. A lot of these players didn't watch. Like they were playing. They don't really watch games. And like, it's funny that people think, say I always talk about that with the schedules and stuff, right? Like players don't know the schedule. They don't care. And I saw Tyreek Hill say that. He goes, I don't care about the schedule. I'm going to do my thing no matter who it's against.
Yeah.
So that was his attitude.
I've always said that at the end of the year when a team needs a win to clinch home field advantage or something, but they're already in the playoffs. And I always say to people, you know what, the players don't care. All they know is they're in the postseason. Doesn't matter if it's home or on the road. That doesn't matter. That's all they care about. Do you think they're going to play any more because they could get a win here and get home field advantage? It's not happening with these players. It just doesn't. So
no, they'll play the same way. Like they'll show up and they'll, you know what I mean?
But there's no sense of urgency of like, okay, we can accomplish something today. It's like, no, we're in the postseason.
No, but it's become such a business, right? It has. And the players see it, and there's a trickle-down effect that everybody sort of looks out for their own interest.
Yeah.
Right? They just don't, And also, too, like, fans get all upset. Oh, the team didn't make the playoffs and stuff. Like, I'm not saying that Vladimir Guerrero isn't upset for losing the Super Bowl, the World Series. He was in tears in the dugout after the game. But today there was a video of him, and he was on a private jet with his friends and family partying it up. He's going on vacation now. Right? Like, so, like, if you're a player, I know it sucks if you're a Blue Jay fan and you're gutted. But if Vladimir Guerrero, he just signed a $500 million contract. He just delivered that he was a superstar. And lo and behold, Scott, we were kidding about Dak Prescott. He hasn't not completed a pass here on this drive. I literally might win this by half a yard.
Wow.
He is not. Like, they just keep on throwing bombs. Yeah, they just keep throwing, like, bombs over and over. And now he just got sacked.
4th and 27.
Please tell me.
Yeah,
I got 249 and a half. Yeah, 249 and a half. I really do.
Wow. Just don't throw a screen pass. There you go.
So I win. Yeah, that's better than, that's better. You're right. It's losing 2 yards on a screenplay.
Yeah, we'll wrap up shop there.
I guess it's fitting, huh?
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Arizona now 8-1 their last 9 meetings, covering all 8 of those wins against the Dallas Cowboys as they win again tonight, finished up 27-17, no more points, no more passing yards from Dak, so he ends up with 250. So that's a bad loss for Dallas, right? Good win for Arizona with the backup quarterback who might no longer be the backup quarterback, if he ends up continuing to play like he did. He finished up with 260, I think. So he went over the number, the original number there of 248, which lowered to 237.5. I'll run down some of the props here, Gabe, but that's a tough loss for the Cowboys. 27-17. They only got 10 points. 7 of it was a block punt return for a TD. 10 points against the Arizona Cardinals, who get a nice win.
Season-defining loss, I think, for the Cowboys here. I think this was not that, we talked about it. Nobody thought the Cowboys were legitimate contenders or anything like that, but they can't even lie to themselves right now. I mean, they're 3-5-1. Their schedule gets a lot trickier in the next couple of weeks. I know they got the Raider game coming up, but, that's just a loss that can't happen for them if they want to be taken seriously. And I never really do take Dallas seriously. It's my bad for betting on them tonight. The only thing I will say is I would have lost anyway, Scott, with Arizona on a teaser. It didn't get there. I would have teased it to the over. It didn't get there, guys. We finished 27. We finished at 44 points in this football game. So it doesn't, it wouldn't have hit the teaser. 10-point teaser players, depending on your number, you could have squeezed over the number in this game because it's worse than 53.5. But yeah, disappointing performance for the Dallas Cowboys, but this is what the Cowboys do. They just let their fans down.
Yeah. False hope. Yeah, that's what 500 teams do, and that's basically what they are. And they might not even be a 500 team, but that's what they do. I always tell people, Gabe, listen, you're a 500 team, so you're going to win some. You're not an 0-17 team, so you're going to look good certain weeks. But in reality, you just as often as you look good, you look bad. And it's a up and down you go. One week you look terrific, put 40 points on the board like it's nobody's business. The next week you can't score against really a bad Arizona Cardinal defense. That's the Dallas Cowboys. They had their chances. They moved the ball, but the turnovers killed them. The field goal no good, which again 60+ yards, no big deal. But passing up on the field goal, like we talked about, changed the complexion of the game when you look back at the 3 more points. So now they got off week and they got Vegas in 2 weeks.
The Vikings are 4-4, right? And they're in 10th place in the conference. I mean, hell, the Carolina Panthers are 5-4.
Yeah.
There's already a lot of work to do. I mean, this is not a free pass again in the playoffs. The NFC, who I've normally criticized in past years, there's some good teams. It's a battle right now. Like, to put in context, man, the Detroit Lions right now are hanging on to the last playoff spot. Barely. They're 5-3. Yeah, and the Bears are also 5-3. They own the tiebreaker because they beat them. So they've got the tiebreaker, but it's that tough right now. San Francisco are injured, but they keep winning. The Rams aren't going to get worse. The Rams are going to be a Super Bowl contender. The Packers, the Packers are kind of right there with the Seahawks to me, and the Bucs. They're sort of in that, dangerous but not full. And then don't look now, Scott. They're the Philadelphia Eagles right now, the 1 seed in the NFC again.
That's where I was going to go, Gabe. That's exactly where I was going to go. The team that won the most this weekend? The Philadelphia Eagles. 6-2 they are. They got Dallas losing. They got Washington losing. Giants, who cares? They got Green Bay losing this weekend. They now they sit with a 3-game lead in the NFC. Not that we thought they were going to probably lose that division anyway, but certain people heading into this year thought Washington. But man, it's going to be a cakewalk for Philadelphia to win that division.
Yeah, and now they've got their eyes set on home field advantage again, right? They're battling for home field advantage. But like I said, we got some good teams. I mean, Seattle are an interesting team, and Seattle have a very, actually Seattle get Arizona, isn't it? I think that's who's up next, right? It's Seattle and Arizona. That's a kind of a big game for the NFC West. Seattle's got to keep pace. And one thing with the Seattle Seahawks, it's a tough division, that division. You can't let up, right? I mean, Arizona are grinding right now, and they're doing the best that they can here, but like I said, San Francisco, despite all their injuries, they're still winning football games. And there's a few storylines I can't help but think. So the Dodgers just repeated as World Series champions, right? The Florida Panthers, back-to-back. Yeah. This stuff sort of comes in waves, too. That Philadelphia is driven by this. That they saw the Dodgers win and go, man, we got to go back-to-back now. You know what I mean? Like, so you got that back-to-back. Then I couldn't help but think, so you got Clayton Kershaw retiring, and he goes out a winner as a World Series champion. And, of course, Clayton Kershaw's high school catcher, Matt Stafford. The Rams, the Matt Stafford have one more in them on the way out, right? There's a bunch of, with the Bills. Can the Bills actually get there? A lot of interesting storylines. The NFL season's been anticlimactic, I find. But the storylines, once we get to December and stuff, Scott, and the contenders and the playoff bracket is set, it'll be awesome when it's all said and done. But there's been a lot of bad football that's been played this year. Let's call it out for what it is.
Yeah, it's really, you've had a couple of decent storylines with New England, Gabe, but for the most part, Pittsburgh's been, nothing. Baltimore with all their injuries, they're awful. Kansas City's had a, bit of struggle with all their injuries, a little bit better now. You got the Colts story, but it's still Danny Nichols. So you don't really have great storylines. But I think, like you said, in the end, Buffalo's going to be there. Kansas City's going to be there. Baltimore, no doubt, will be there. The NFC should be a pretty good battle.
Oh, and how about this? Next Monday. I'm looking at the schedule now. And I was going to say, the thing with the NFL is, there's been a lot of Sundays where you look at the schedule and you don't really have games to look forward to. I know the Bills and Chiefs yesterday, but there's a lot of you know what I mean? This week we got a couple. The Rams and 49ers, a big-time tilt, right? That's an important one, right? As far as, the showdown, we're just talking about the division and stuff. But Monday Night Football, next Monday, Philadelphia Eagles at Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers, 2.5-point favorites.
That's not bad. You know what's not bad? I know record-wise, it's not great, but 3-5 Baltimore at 4-4 Minnesota. Kind of like the winner keeps going good.
Yeah, it's an early eliminator, yeah.
Yeah.
The early battle,
right? Yeah. So that was actually not too bad. Patriots Buccaneers, record-wise, 7-2. Patriots 6-2 Bucks. That's a halfway decent game.
Yeah. Who would have thought? Huh?
Yeah,
I need the Bucks to do this for my Buffalo Bills. Finally, somebody's got to beat New England. Bucks are 2.5-point favorites.
Interesting. Lakers down 1 at halftime. I'm telling you, we'll come back tomorrow. We're going to talk about how the Lakers won. You watch this. Good job, Gabe. Fuck you.